Ukanafon local government area was one of the volatile areas in Akwa Ibom State where peace was recently restored through the efforts of a joint military operation. To build confidence in the people, the Nigerian Army 2 Brigade put together this free medical outreach as part of their civil-military operation aimed at opening up cordial relationship with members of their host community.
We are here to provide security to ensure that the 2019 elections are conducted.
The people who came out in their numbers were treated for various ailments, while those who have eye problems were given free eyeglasses after thorough checks.
The entire Ukanafon people are very happy with the Nigerian Army for this free medical outreach.
I don't get money to go hospital to see this thing at the sick. I don't get money. I said, thank you.
The Brigade Medical Officer, Major Organovo Media, says the 2 Brigade Nigerian Army came out fully prepared to attend to the health needs of the people and expressed satisfaction with the positive response to the free medical outreach.
We are going to do so well. We are going to reach out to them, issue them drugs, and these are cases that we are very optimistic that we'll be able to handle.
The people were also given lectures on personal hygiene and ways of maintaining good health. In Ukanafon local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Mary and Vincent Oko, NTA News.
Aremu Cancer Awareness Campaign Organization Takako, an NGO, has urged the federal government to establish cancer centers across the state to reduce the financial burden on patients. Executive Director of Takako, Aremu Kuti, made the call when the organization visited some cancer patients at the National Hospital, Abuja, on Monday, in commemoration of the World Cancer Day. Kuti, who frowned at the poor attention given to cancer in Nigeria, revealed that only 2 radiotherapy machines situated at the National Hospital were available in the entire country. According to him, at the moment, only one of the machines is functional, while the other one is faulty. He, however, encouraged patients to be cheerful and see cancer like headache and stomach pain, because cancer is a challenge that can happen to anyone irrespective of their status.
Women everywhere are becoming entrepreneurs in greater numbers than ever before. They are stepping away from traditional economic rules and venturing out to start their own businesses. In every field imaginable, even the most masculine, you don't have to look too hard to find female who have overcome all challenges to attain success. Welcome to another impactful episode of From the Cradle on Television Nigeria. I am Sandra Guana. According to a series conducted and analyzed by the National Foundation of Women Business Owners, across the world, women-owned firms typically constitute between 1/4 and 1/3 of the business population. The number of women-owned businesses is growing faster than the economy at large in many countries. Women-owned businesses are starting in every industrial sector. Journey with me as some of these women speak for themselves. Our guest is a woman who started very little, but of course, look at where she is today. She has done so well for herself and by extension contribute to the economic growth. Let's meet Mrs. Tolani.
You're welcome.
Look at how beautiful you are.
And you do.
You've always been talking on the phone, but then I couldn't wait for the day that I will come and meet you in person. Wow, you've got a beautiful place here.
You are really welcome.
Everything is wonderful.
Thank you
You are
so much.
Children, adults.
Yeah.
To come to think that you're telling us that you have a very small shop. Your shop is not big. And look at the kind of mighty shop that I'm seeing.
Wow, I am really speechless. Actually, I just thought my shop is quite small. We are just starting afresh. They are still struggling. But here we have basically everything from kids to kids' shoes to toys. Then ladies' wears. Anything ladies' wears. Shoes, bags, dresses, clutch purses. Basically anything on these for women.
Okay, now tell us how you started this journey of yours. What inspired you into starting something like this?
Okay, actually, what really inspired me is fashion. I really love fashion, although I didn't know I would really go into it like this. But I'm someone that loves fashion, anything fashion. I love shopping. So after I had my first son, I was at home. So I just thought, what should I do since I was still nursing the baby? So I started shopping, started buying things online from UK. I order and started gradually with kids' wears, kids' shoes.
So everything you have in your shop is UK made?
Most of them are UK. We have UK, we have US, we have Turkey. Okay. So they are basic, but they are all very lovely items, statement items. And my aim, the main aim for starting this thing is bringing fashion to people and making it very affordable. All those things they see online, they see everywhere. And knowing Abuja market, Abuja market is always very expensive. But the clothes I have, the edge I have over others is that mine is always very affordable compared with others. Yeah. So I love, that is what I just enjoy doing. Since I love shopping, I will shop, and I can't wait to see people wearing my pieces. I can't wait to see the joy on their faces.
I can't wait to wear one too.
I can't wait to have you wear one too. I can't wait to style you. Like I said, when I started, I was at home. I used to carry in my car. So I started with kids' wears and shoes. Then the following year, we normally go for family vacation. So I traveled myself and I saw some nice adult wears. I'm a shoe freak. So I saw shoes, I brought shoes. Before I knew what was happening, then we were in Lagos. Customers were like, oh madam, we want more. Please add clothes. So that was how it started. I started buying wears. I couldn't stop myself because I just love buying. And if I can wear 10, I don't mind seeing people wearing them. I don't mind seeing the styles, the joy on their faces.
Okay, you started as a single girl.
A booze go about before I opened the shop here. So that's how everything started basically. And to God be the glory, I started adding more. I couldn't wait for more. I couldn't wait to get more. So that's what.
Where do you get your materials from?
Like I said, I normally, my family, my husband and my kids, all of us always travel for summer vacation. So wherever we go, sometimes we go to UK.
You go?
Yes. Sometimes we go to UK. Sometimes we go to Paris. Then I usually buy online from US. So they help me ship down here. Then sometimes too, I go to Lagos to buy from all these wholesale Turkey wears. Okay. Those wholesale Turkey wear sellers. So I buy some from them too, and I add to this, to whatever I have.
So now, what is that glass ceiling? The challenges you face as a woman in business or as an entrepreneur?
Okay. First of all, I would not want to say money or finance or something. You do need something very big as long as you know what you want. But here, I think because there are so many stores, boutiques around, so some people, when they see you, they'll be scared. They will think, oh, this person is going to be very expensive. So sometimes of course I'm like, I've been eyeing this place, but I thought it would be expensive. So customers, that's the only challenge I used to have, but it's getting better now. The more people come here, when they see your price, the more they say that it's good, and they keep coming.
And the quality.
Yes. Then the only one I think is a little bit of challenge right now is online, because I just started the online marketing. So you know how it is in Nigeria. So many people think for something until they try or until somebody recommends it to them. But apart from that, I'm grateful. I'm really grateful here.
Okay, let's say I want to start this business now.
Okay.
I want to start something like yours.
Yeah.
Of course, I won't just wake up one day, then I'll fly abroad to go and source my material abroad. I want to start. The woman that wants to start, how much do you think I need to start up something like this?
Okay, you know what I would say? First of all, as long as you know this is what you really want, this is what you have passion for, even if you have like 100, you can start small. You can start with your car. If you have a container, you can start. And you don't have to go to London or something. You can buy online. If you don't want to do that, because some people are scared of buying online, you can go to Lagos. You can just travel down to Lagos. You make sure you look at what they want to sell. There are people that sell US wares there too. You look at what they want to sell to you. Pick the item that you think is really good, that is really a good standard. Then you can start. Children's school, I will just display everything, shoes, children wear, and people will come start picking. So just start from somewhere. You can start from the car, and before you know what is happening, you are growing. Before you know what is happening, you can afford a shop. Before you know what is happening, you are getting bigger.
So now, what is the range of your prices?
Okay,
Let's start from here.
from bags.
Let's start from the bags.
Okay,
Your bags basically are from where?
most of them, like this one is Primark. This is UK. I have Primark. I have David Jones. David Jones is a French designer. He's from Paris. So, the David Jones is 13. It's authentic David Jones. Then the Primark bags, they are 9,000. They are authentic ones. They are not all those, because I know there are so many fake out there in our market in Nigeria.
Is there any way you can bring out something so that we'll see?
Okay, let me show you one of those David Jones handbags.
Because they are all packed, so
Yes.
I guess we don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, this is the David Jones handbag. David Jones handbags are very good for Nigerian market, for Nigerian weather. It hardly peels. I have so many customers that have been patronizing me for years.
Handle your business with family?
Well, okay, as I said, I am a mother of 3.
Wow, you don't say.
Yes.
Does she look it? She doesn't look like, she doesn't even look like somebody that has one.
I know. So I must find a way of balancing it. When it is time, my family is number 1. So I must make sure my business doesn't interfere with my family. So like when I have my kids, when my kids are around, if I need to spend time with them, I would rather leave my sales girl here and go and spend time with them at home. Maybe after picking them from school, I spend time, then weekend. Then I make sure I close early enough to go prepare for the kids, prepare for the following day, prepare for my husband before he comes back from work. So it's not easy, but since it's something that I love doing, I don't feel the stress. So, but I make sure my kids, I give them the time, I balance it. Yes,
Wow,
yes,
that is
yes.
nice.
So that's just how I do it basically.
So tell us, apart from business and your family, what do you do with your leisure time? Like, what do you love doing?
Okay, actually I'm a vibrant person. I love fun. So like weekends, when I have the chance, we usually go, like I and my husband, I love swimming. So
Wow.
I really love swimming so much. So weekends, we usually go out, spend time with our friends. I love swimming, like I said.
Advise a woman out there.
Okay, my advice to women like me, as we know the society now, we know how work takes so much of women's time. And if you really value your kids' life, your family, and you think, okay, I think I want to divert to something else, leave this 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. work.
That is a white collar job.
Yes, just sit down, really think what you love doing, anything you know that you have passion for. As long as you have passion for that thing is going to survive.
Okay.
Your passion will be your drive.
Yes.
So just start from small. Just start, even if it is not wares or something. anything that you know you love doing, that is going to survive. It's going to strive.
Provided you have a passion for it.
Yes.
The passion should be your drive. That is what you've heard that she has said it all. She said the passion should be your drive. Once you have a passion for something, go for it. Don't be scared, because as soon as you see yourself going for it, up, you shall continue to go. Okay, this is where we end with her. Of course, this is just the beginning of the show. You ain't seen nothing yet. We are diverting to another guest. Bye from here.
Thank you.
You not tell us bye.
I would like to say bye to everybody. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I started the journey 12th March 2012. I started, anyway, I was working then, and as a single, it wasn't easy living in Abuja then, so I just decided I have like 115,000 naira in my account. I said, what do I do with it? And I opened a cosmetic shop due to I went through cosmetologist. So I opened a cosmetic shop, and without 115,000 naira, I have to do the counter and other things. And as time goes on, I say, let me add it to bid. That is when I learned bid on 2013. And 2013, the bid was moving. I was doing the bid, but though I wasn't selling. There was no market. I would do for free and a lot of charity trainings. But time goes on. I said, let me add fascinator to it, which is on 2014. And 2015, 2016, I decided to add also gele and tying and makeup to it. There was a lot of issues because anyway, I have a lot of people who could support me, but due to there was no support, and I couldn't go to anybody for help. I said, let me do it. As a single lady, I face a lot of challenges due to there is no money. I have to do nanny jobs, and I have to work as a part-time staff just to get money to stock the shop. The 115,000 naira wasn't enough, because when I go to the market, the thing I just bought was just few things. When I even started, it was just one year, but I just have to start it because they say starting is the main thing. The difficult thing is just for you to start. When you start, it booms. It wasn't easy, but I started with that little capital I have. Instead of folding my hands, stay at home and do nothing. So I just decided to start somewhere. For the past 4 years, it hasn't been easy. But since 2016, to the glory of God, it's moving fine.
Female entrepreneurs are innovators, and of course, innovation stimulates general economic growth. Because of their unique leadership style, women-run enterprises generally provide a caring, cooperative work environment in which individual growth and development are fostered. If you are that woman watching right now, you have to work your heart if you believe in your business, and others will follow suit. Don't forget to check us out on our social media handles rolling on your screen right now, where you can watch this episode and the past ones, as well as some of our exciting and educative programs. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure you were inspired. Until next time, my name is Sandra Guana on Television Nigeria. Bye. Women everywhere are becoming entrepreneurs in greater numbers than ever before. They are stepping away from traditional economic rules and venturing out to start their own businesses. In every field imaginable, even the most masculine, you don't have to look too hard to find female who have overcome all challenges to attain success. Welcome to another impactful episode of from the cradle on television Nigeria. I am Sandra Guana. According to a series conducted and analyzed by the National Foundation of Women Business Owners, across the world, women-owned firms typically constitute between 1/4 and 1/3 of the business population. The number of women-owned businesses is growing faster than the economy at large in many countries. Women-owned businesses are starting in every industrial sector. Journey with me as some of these women speak for themselves. Our guest is a woman who started very little. But of course, look at where she is today. She has done so well for herself and by extension contribute to the economic growth. Let's meet Mrs. Tolani.
Good afternoon, you're welcome.
Look at how beautiful you are.
And you look.
Always been talking on the phone, but then I couldn't wait for the day that I will come and meet you in person.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a beautiful place here.
Yeah, really well.
Everything is wonderful.
Thank you so
You are from
much.
children, adults.
Yes.
To come to think that you are telling us that you have a very small shop. Your shop is not big. And look at the kind of mighty shop that I'm seeing.
Wow, I am really speechless. Actually, I just thought my shop is quite small. We are just starting afresh. We are still struggling. But here we have basically everything from kids to kids shoes to toys. Then ladies wears. Anything ladies wears. Shoes, bags, dresses, clutch purses. Basically anything on these for women.
Okay,
So
now tell
everything-
us how you started this journey of yours. What inspired you into starting something like this?
Okay, actually, what really inspired me is fashion. I really love fashion, although I didn't know I really go into it like this. But I'm someone that loves fashion, anything fashion. I love shopping. So after I had my first son, I was at home. So I just thought, what should I do? Since I was still nursing my baby, so I started shopping, started buying things online from UK. I order and started gradually with kids wears, kids shoes.
So everything you have in your shop is UK made?
Most of them are UK. We have UK, we have US, we have Turkey.
Okay.
So they are basic, but they are all very lovely items, statement items. And my aim, the main aim for starting this thing is bringing fashion to people and making it very affordable. All those things they see online, they see everywhere. And knowing Abuja market, I know Abuja market is always very expensive, but the clothes I have, the edge I have over others is that mine is always very affordable compared with others.
Yeah.
So I love, that is what I just enjoy doing. Since I love shopping, I will shop, and I can't wait to see people wearing my pieces. I can't wait to see the joy on their faces.
I can't wait to wear one too.
I can't wait to have you wear one too. I can't wait to style you. Like I said, when I started, I was at home. I used to carry in my car. So I started with kids wears and shoes. Then the following year, we normally go for family vacation. So I traveled myself and I saw some nice adult wears. I'm a shoe freak. So I saw shoes, I brought shoes. Before I knew what was happening, then we were in Lagos. Customers were like, oh madam, we want more. Please add clothes. So that was how it started. I started buying wears. I couldn't stop myself because I just love buying. And if I can wear all 10, I don't mind seeing people wearing them. I don't mind seeing the styles, the joy on their faces. After
Okay,
buying.
you started as a single girl.
The booze go about before I opened the shop here. So that's how everything started basically. And to God be the glory, I started adding more. I couldn't wait for more. I couldn't wait to get more. So that's what.
Where do you get your materials from?
Like I said, I normally, my family, my husband and my kids, all of us always travel for summer vacation. So wherever we go, sometimes we go to UK. Yes. Sometimes we go to UK. Sometimes we go to Paris. Then I usually buy online from US. So they help me ship down here. Then sometimes too, I go to Lagos to buy from all these wholesale Turkey wears.
Okay.
Those wholesale Turkey wear sellers. So I buy some from them too. And I add to this whatever I have.
So now, what is that glass ceiling? The challenges you face as a woman in business or as an entrepreneur?
Okay, first of all, I would not want to say money or finance or something. You don't need something very big, as long as you know what you want. But here, I think because there are so many stores, boutiques around, so some people, when they see you, they'll be scared. They will think, oh, this person is going to be very expensive. So sometimes of course I'm like, I've been eyeing this place, but I thought it would be expensive. So customers, that's the only challenge I used to have, but it's getting better now. The more people come here, when they see your price, the more they say that it's good, and they keep coming.
And the quality.
Yes. Then the only one I think is a little bit of challenge right now is online, because I just started the online marketing. So you know how it is in Nigeria. So many people think for something until they try or until somebody recommends it to them. But apart from that, I'm grateful. I'm really grateful here.
Okay, let's say I want to start this business now. Okay. I want to start something like yours.
Yeah.
Of course, I won't just wake up one day, then I'll fly abroad to go and source my material abroad. I want to start. A woman that wants to start, how much do you think I need to start up something like this?
Okay, you know what I would say? First of all, as long as you know this is what you really want, this is what you have passion for, even if you have like 100, you can start small. You can start with your car. If you have a container, you can start. And you don't have to go to London or something. You can buy online. If you don't want to do that, because some people are scared of buying online, you can go to Lagos. You can just travel down to Lagos. You make sure you look at what they want to sell. There are people that sell US wares there too. You look at what they want to sell to you. Pick the item that you think is really good. That is really a good standard. Then you can start. Children's school, I will just display everything, shoes, children wear, and people will come, start picking. So just start from somewhere. You can start from your car, and before you know what is happening, you are growing. Before you know what is happening, you can afford a shop. Before you know what is happening, you are getting bigger.
So now, what is the range of your prices? Okay, let's start from here.
From bags,
yes, let's start from the bags.
Okay.
Your bags basically are from where?
Most of them, like this one is Primark. This is UK. I have Primark. I have David Jones. David Jones is a French designer from Paris. So, the David Jones is 13. It's authentic David Jones. Then the Primark bags, they are 9,000. They are authentic ones. They are not all those, because I know there are so many fake out there in our market in Nigeria.
Is there any way you can bring out something so that we'll see?
Okay, let me show you one of those David Jones handbags.
Because they are all packed, so
yes,
I guess we don't know what we are talking about.
Okay, this is the David Jones handbag. David Jones handbags are very good for Nigerian market, for Nigerian weather. It hardly peels. I have so many customers that have been patronizing me for years.
Business with family?
Well, okay, as I said, I am a mother of 3.
Wow, you don't say.
Yes.
Does she look it? She doesn't look like, she doesn't even look like somebody that has one.
I know. So I must find a way of balancing it. When it is time, my family is number 1. So I must make sure my business doesn't interfere with my family. So like when I have my kids, when my kids are around, if I need to spend time with them, I would rather leave my sales girl here and go and spend time with them at home. Maybe after picking them from school, I spend time. Then weekend, then I make sure I close early enough to go prepare for the kids, prepare for the following day, prepare for my husband before he comes back from work. So it's not easy, but since it's something I love doing, I don't feel the stress. Okay. So, but I make sure my kids, I give them the time, I balance it up. Yes, wow, yes, that is nice. So that's just how I do it basically.
So tell us, apart from business and your family, what do you do with your leisure time? Like, what do you love doing?
Okay. Actually, I'm a vibrant person. I love fun. So, like weekends, when I have the chance, I usually go like animals band. I love swimming. So
Wow.
I really love swimming so much. So weekends, we usually we go out, spend time with our friends. I love swimming, like I said.
Advise a woman out there.
Okay, my advice to women like me, as we know the society now, we know how work takes so much of women's time. And if you really value your kids, like your family, and you think, okay, I think I want to divert to something else, leave this 8 a.m. To 6 p.m. work.
That is the white collar job.
Yes. Just sit down. Really think what you love doing. Anything you know that you have passion for. As long as you have passion for that thing is going to survive.
Okay.
Your passion will be your drive.
Yes.
So just start from small. Just start. Even if it is not wares or something. Anything that you know you love doing, that is going to survive. It's going to strive.
Provided you have a passion for it.
Yes.
The passion should be your drive. That is what you've heard that she has said it all. She said the passion should be your drive. Once you have a passion for something, go for it. Don't be scared, because as soon as you see yourself going for it, up, you shall continue to go. Okay, this is where we end with her. Of course, this is just the beginning of the show. You ain't seen nothing yet. We are diverting to another guest. Bye from here.
Thank you.
You not tell us bye.
I would like to say bye to everybody. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I started the journey 12th March 2012. I was working then, and I was single. It wasn't easy living in Abuja then, so I just decided I have like 115,000 naira in my account. I said, what do I do with it? And I opened a cosmetic shop due to our going through cosmetologists. So I opened a cosmetic shop, and without 115,000 naira, I have to do the counter and other things. And as time goes on, I say, let me add it to bid. That is when I learned bid on 2013. And 2013, the bid was moving. I was doing the bid, but though I wasn't selling. There was no market. I would do for free and a lot of charity trainings. By time goes on, I say, let me add fascinator to it, which is on 2014. And 2015, 2016, I decided to add auto gele and gele tying and makeup to it. There was a lot of issues because anyway, I had a lot of people who could support me, but due to there was no support, and I couldn't go to anybody for help. I said, let me do it. As a single lady, I faced a lot of challenges due to there is no money. I have to do nanny jobs, and I have to work as a part-time staff just to get money to start the shop. The 115,000 naira wasn't what to do, because when I go to the market, the thing I just bought was just few things. When I didn't start it, was just one year, but I just have to start it because they say starting is the main thing. The difficult thing is just for you to start. When it starts, it booms. It wasn't easy, but I started with one little capital I had. Instead of folding my hands, stay at home and do nothing. So I just decided to start somewhere. For the past 4 years, it hasn't been easy. But since 2016, to the glory of God, it's moving fine.
Female entrepreneurs are innovators, and of course, innovation stimulates general economic growth. Because of their unique leadership style, women-run enterprises generally provide a caring, cooperative work environment in which individual growth and development are fostered. If you are that woman watching right now, you have to work your heart if you believe in your business, and others will follow suit. Don't forget to check us out on our social media handles rolling on your screen right now, where you can watch this episode and the past ones, as well as some of our exciting and educative programs. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure you were inspired. Until next time, my name is Sandra Guana on Television Nigeria. Bye.
Over the years, the issue of rape has been constantly discussed. But can this issue be overflowed? The answer is no. Welcome to Mata Africa, the program where we discuss key issues pertaining to women and children. And in today's episode, we will be talking about rape. I am Patience Ekonohe Daniels, and with me in the studio this morning is Amina Umaru. Amina is a legal practitioner and a social media influencer. She has over the years been lending her voice to issues pertaining to women and children. Amina, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. First of all, what according to you is rape?
Oh, let me use the definition by law. Rape is having sexual intercourse without consent. The key word being without consent. Or if the consent is obtained inappropriately, maybe by threats or intimidation. That way. So basically, rape is having sexual intercourse without consent from the other person.
Okay. And at what stage can we separate sex from rape?
Wow. Well, that's a very tricky question because we've been having this particular discussion for years and years. But basically, when consent is removed from the sexual intercourse, from the sexual meeting, that from that point afterwards, when the person says no, anything after that is rape. So you could be with someone and you're in the mood, the person accepts or shows you she is or he is open to the act. But at the point the person changes his or her mind. Remember, I'm saying his or her mind because the common misconception is that only women are raped. So at the point the person changes his or her mind, anything afterward is rape. Yes.
So, what are the rules to success then?
Well, the basic rule is make sure the person you're having sex with agrees to have sex with you. That's the basic thing. And make sure the person is, grounded enough to know that, yes, we are having sex and it is mutual. Make sure it is a mutually acceptable thing. Don't just assume that, the person, it's me, it's sex, nobody can turn me down, or things like that. We hear things like that. And also, recently, there was this discussion on if people should seek written consent. I think it's ridiculous though, but it seems the world is getting towards that because of the many cases of people being accused wrongly of rape. But then I need to add something. The cases of rape, actual rape, and those of false accusation are actually, the ones of actual rape are much more than, in every 100% of rape accusation, only about 1% are actually false accusations. So we also need to take that into consideration. It is a serious problem, but in the wider scheme of things, rape is actually more serious than getting
abused. In Nigeria, is there a legal age where a girl or a guy can, or a boy should attain before, or let's say a legal age to have sex in Nigeria, where every other sexual rules stops on or something? Is there a legal age?
That's a very tricky question because more kids are having sex these days. Parents don't want to hear it, but it is what is happening. children, teenagers are experimenting with themselves. But I think what you're trying to ask is if, when it comes to adults and maybe teenagers and children, yes, the law under the Penal Act, which is Penal Code, sorry, which is the law that the criminal law in northern Nigeria, any sex with anyone under the age of 14 is considered rape, whether the person gave consent. The basic is that anybody under 14 cannot give consent. So any sexual act to somebody under 14 is considered rape. In the South, which is governed by the criminal code, it's 16. So you can say the legal age for sexual intercourse in Nigeria is probably 16. But you need to consider the fact that children, teenagers are having sex with themselves. So that too should come into consideration. But when it comes to rape, an adult that has sexual intercourse with anybody below the age of 14 in the north and 16 in the south is liable for it, even if the person said yes, it is rape, because it's considered that a child cannot give consent under the law.
Okay. Let's move on to molestation and sex with minors. Some time ago, I was opportunity to talk to a Muslim cleric. So we discussed this sex with minors. We talked about rape, sex with minors, and all that. So I brought in this issue of child bride in the north, and I asked of his opinion on it, and he said in Islam that the type a girl is formally ripe for marriage immediately once she's started her menstrual period. And recently we seen women, little girls, having seen the menstrual period from 8, 9. Personally, I started before 29, and we've had issues of little babies also menstruating even before that age. I think the first woman to give birth, the youngest woman to give birth in the world is 5 years. One woman from India. So considering that statement that I am not versed in the Quran, and considering what he said, like the right age in Islam to actually get married is once the lady starts menstruating, which can come either before 7, 8, 9, and in law, the consensual age for sex is 14. So how do we bring this in? Because I think these are minors. How do we bring this in?
I do not like talking about things when it comes to religion, because you know the thing with Nigerians and religion is we get blinded when we presume people are attacking our beliefs. I think any religious practice that actually encourages child marriage and underage sexual relations should need to question the provisions of that religion or whatever. It doesn't make sense. A child should remain a child. A child shouldn't be getting married. We shouldn't be having sex with children and all. And it also shows how inherently unjust Nigeria is, because we have these laws. The law is provided that anyone who has sex under the age of 14, a child cannot give consent. But then we have another law that says the Constitution says that the age for maturity is 18, yeah? But it makes an exception for married women. that, okay, for example, if you get married at 12 or 13, it is assumed, it is presumed that you've reached the age of maturity. So when you have different laws within a space, a country, and then you don't streamline these laws, these are some of the things you get. People are allowed to marry underage girls, and well, nobody will frown at them if they see the girl pregnant the next day, even though the law in that part of the country says otherwise. So it is presumed that once a woman is married, she has reached the age of maturity. So it's very tricky, and I wish that we'll actually have this conversation, because we can't move along with the world if we're still marrying of women at 13 and getting them pregnant, and doesn't make sense.
Okay. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome again. In case you're just joining me, this is still Mata Africa, and still with me in the studio is Amina Amaro, and we're still discussing rape. Before we went on the break, you mentioned that one can be held liable if one has sex with a minor below the age of 14 in the north and 16 in the south. Is there any age specified in the law for marriage in Nigeria? That a certain age that a girl child should get to before consenting to marriage in Nigeria?
Okay. The Constitution, as we all know, is silent when it comes to age of marriage for women. But the Child Rights Act, which was passed in 2003, I think, provides for the age of marriage 18 years for women. And though that law has only been replicated because Nigeria runs a federal system, for a law to actually be enforced at state level, the states usually have to pass those laws. So as of the last time I checked, I think about 25 states had domesticated the Child Rights Act as laws in their territories. But the thing is, even at that level, the age of marriage was reduced in some of them. Some of them reduced to 16 and thereabout. So yeah, the Child Rights Act provides for 18 years as the minimum age of marriage. But well, like everything else, we just go about doing what we want to do. People are still marrying underage girls, and nothing is being done about it. And don't forget that the Constitution provides that anytime the age for maturity for a married woman is, well, if a married woman, as long as somebody is married, she has attained the age of maturity. So if you are 12 and you are married off, you've attained the age of maturity according to the Constitution. So that's where we are now.
Okay. Let's talk about the marital saying now. Okay. There has been cases of forced sex on wives in marriage. Sometime last year, a Facebook user sent a DM to me. She mentioned her husband stripping her before her children and then raping her. And that this has been done constantly, like even when she's tired, she doesn't want sex, but the man just wants to have his way. And to an extent, we've been hearing these things like men complaining he's not giving it to me when I want and all that, even when these women are tired. Is there any provision in the law in regards to rape within marriage? Yes.
All our laws, all 5 of them, that I've read that contain provisions for rape. The criminal code in the south, the criminal code in the north, the Lagos criminal laws of Lagos, the violence against persons and Prohibition Act. All of them are silent on marital rape. In fact, the Lagos one specifically provides that, in fact, all of them provide that marriage within, sex within marriage, even when forced, is not rape. They specifically say a man cannot rape his wife. The Lagos one boldly says a man cannot rape his wife. So that is where we are. So whether a man forces his wife to have sex and all that within marriage, it is not considered rape under Nigerian law.
So it really means that even when the lady is being pressured, beaten and all that, what if you use self-defense, like you pushed him away or something, you hit him? Can that also be termed, will you have a say when it comes to domestic violence? Because
the worst you can do is ask that he's prosecuted for assault, but when it comes to rape, the law does not recognize marital rape in Nigeria. Just because a person is married does not remove the person's individuality. And I must say, these things are encouraged by our cultural beliefs and religious practices. Because you hear pastors and imams telling women, I don't know why they always tell women. They don't tell the men. They always tell women that even if you are sick and dying, you should sleep with your husband. It is his right. He has a right over your body. And it doesn't make sense. This is 2018. Countries are making laws. They are constantly reviewing their rape laws to include, the world is moving fast, but we're still here. Marital rape, there's nothing of marital rape under our laws. So, yeah, men are allowed to sleep with their women whenever, however, and they cannot be called to answer to that. That's what the law says.
And then considering the fact that some people have this weird sexual fantasy, like what the one we've seen cases where women complain of the men wanting anals, and where women complain that the husband only gets a rose when beaten. You have to punch, you have to bite, you have to do all those things to women. And when they run back to their parents or clerics, they tell them to either pray, or so in this case, the only move a woman can actually make is to file for assault.
Yeah, assault. Basically, that's it. Basically, you can't accuse your husband of raping you. The law doesn't allow that. Nigerian law is silent when it comes to marital law. In fact, it specifically states in all the laws that your husband cannot rape you. So, yeah, that's it.
So, talking about things in adults, how can we reduce sexual abuse among them? What are the key things, the key points to reduce sexual assaults among them? Because we've had cases where people say it's because of dressing, it's because of a particular way of life of a particular person that causes it, but still we see babies being raped. And recently, a proprietress of a popular school wrote on her Twitter handle, on Instagram, that she cautioned parents to to dress down their girl children. These are pupils in primary schools, in nursery schools. How can we dress down children to fit into a particular mindset a man has? Because these are children. To me, I'm a woman actually, but I do not see what's so sexual about a child of 4, 5, 6, 7 years to 10 that would kind of bring out the sexual stuff in my head. So how do we reduce sexual abuse among teens? What are the key things to do?
That question is it's a really broad question which needs a lot of work, and I don't even know if you can reduce sexual assault, because if you see the numbers, it keeps increasing. That's the truth. Basically, the only thing you could do is to protect your children. You arm them with information on what to do, how to behave with strangers. That's the first thing you can do to your children, and to empower them to talk to you when they are treated in a particular way by adults, or if they feel uncomfortable. Encourage them, give them the confidence to leave a place when they feel uncomfortable. These are some of the things you can do. But basically, and also our laws, I always talk about our laws, the enforcement. Nigeria has some good laws, and some are still in the colonial era. They need to be brought into the 21st century. But basically, our laws are not enforced. You see a situation whereby a person is brought to the police station for raping someone, and then they tell you and there's nothing they can do, or the police people there will tell you, didn't you enjoy it? I mean, these are not the way to approach rape survivors. You don't ask them silly questions like, what were you doing there, or what were you wearing? I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The survivor's actions or inactions does not matter. The fact is that the person has been violated, and that is what we should look at. So yeah, and we need a lot of sensitization around our society. There are some things we need to unlearn. We need to understand that when a person is raped, it is not the person's fault. It is the rapist's fault. So we have a lot of sensitization to do, and all. And well, the laws also need to be made very strict. They need to be enforced. The police need to be sensitized on how to treat rape survivors, you know, and people need to be taught how to treat rape survivors and all. And I don't know if we can actually, because there'll always be that one person.
Are there penalties in the law for rapists?
Yes, there are. All the laws basically provide for life imprisonment for rape cases. The Child Rights Act, the Violence Against Persons Act, or even the Criminal Code. They provide for the maximum sentence a court can give is life sentence. So, but it is left at the discretion of the judge. You can give less. You can give 5 years. You can give 10 years. You can decide to give 3 months. You know, I've seen some ridiculous sentences. Yeah. The law provides punishment for rape. All the laws do that. But the enforcement is the problem. From the police station, how to start prosecuting until you get sent. Sometimes the cases end at the police station. Nigerians will say, we want to settle it out of court. How do you settle a crime out of court? How do you look the person that was violated in the eyes and say, I want to settle it out of court? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really.
In cases of rape, what should be done? And Are there any agencies one can visit in case one is being raped or probably assaulted or molested? Okay.
Well, the first thing to do, I always tell people, go to a hospital. It's easy to want to go home and shower and crawl under your blanket and all that when you get raped. But the most important thing to do is to get to a hospital, because without that, you may never get justice. They need to check you out and see that you're fine, and get you the treatment that you need, STIs, pregnancy, and all that, and above all, psychological help. So yeah, get to a hospital. That's the first thing. Then afterwards, you go to the police station. In Nigeria, actually, only Lagos has a well-centered rape, like an organization, the Mirabel Center. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's inside the, I think, LASU Teaching Hospital. They provide medical help and psychosocial help to rape survivors. So that's the only one of it I know that is well structured. You can also find the nearest FIDA office. They are in all 36 states plus the FCT. FIDA is Federation of Women Lawyers. They also help a lot of rape survivors. They can help liaise with the police and help push the police to do the needful. Then other human rights organizations, there are lots of them. So those ones, their uses, they help you push your case through the police, because sometimes if you let the police, they will not do anything. So those ones serve as a bridge to help the police, to make the police do what they are supposed to do. So yeah, basically that's it.
Okay. This is what we'll be calling it a day on this program, Mata Africa. My guest has been Amina Omar Miango. Thank you so much for being part of this program.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We've been discussing rape on today's episode. Join us again next week as we bring to you other interesting topics. I am Patience from Daniels. Thank you.
Welcome to another episode of Nigeria Today, a platform where we discuss topical issues as they unfold in the polity. Right now, we all know we are in an election time, election period. In a couple of days, a couple of weeks, less than a month or thereabout, Nigeria will be going into a major election. What level of preparedness do we have? The electorate, how informed are they? The key players, actually, how are they going about the electioneering campaign that have been all over the place right now? These will form some of the issues we'll be looking at on this episode of Nigeria Today. Welcome back. And on this episode, I am not alone. I have with me Lady Doris Amaka Opara. She is a candidate of the Africa Action Congress, AAC, and she's running for the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lady, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right. In a couple of weeks, the 2019 general elections will start unfolding, starting from February the 16th, presidential and National Assembly elections. Now, how do you assess the preparedness of Nigerians generally? Talking about the umpire, talking about the key players like you are, and then the electorate, generally taking a holistic look. How prepared are Nigerians for 2019 general elections?
I would say before now, the preparation is very high anyway, but after the president made an announcement that there will not be any funds for any political party, so I think people's mind went a little bit low because there is no money unlike before flowing here and there. It's as even I was even doing my own research and I asked a woman, I said, how are you prepared for this election? He said, it's as if nothing is going to happen on the 16th February. So because there is no money as usual, and that is not very good for the country. Something should be done about that because the candidates, they need money to print flyers, billboard, go around mobilization and all that. So whereby these things are lacking is really going to affect the election in a little way.
Right. Normally, funds for preparing for election, does it normally come from the government, or is it candidates or the political parties that rally around together to source for funds to execute their campaigns?
Yes. Normally, it comes from the candidates and it also comes from the political party, given to them by the federal government. So in those days, even in 2015, it happens. Goodluck Jonathan disbursed funds for all political parties for them to run their elections. But in this case, I don't think it's going to be that. In short, it's not like that. The reverse is the case. So it's really affecting. Although anybody that comes out to run for an election should be prepared for it. If you want to sell an akara and you don't have beans, you better not start selling akara at all, because that person that wants to sell akara must have at least beans to grind and start the business. So you must have your own little resources before you can say you want to come out for election. Then as you are going along the line, money will come from the government, from the political party, from friends, and
all right, very, very well spoken. Now, I have a lot of questions to go about the funding and all of that. But before then, let me just ask, what informed your decision to vie for the Senate of the Federal Republic of
Nigeria? I schooled in Abuja University. I worked as a banker in EcoBank. I resigned and I started having thoughts of getting an NGO that is on leadership and governance. So on that note, that is what inspired me to say, okay, let me go into politics fully. But something really inspired me. I was driving down Wuse and I saw children trekking very far. Children of these public schools around, trekking home, and the sun was so much. I was like, I wanted to give them a lift, but if I stop now, these children may not enter my car because their parents have warned them not to enter a private car. So I started looking at them from my mirror. I was like, oh, because I've been abroad, several places in abroad, so I know how their schools, their government schools looks like over there. So I was like thinking, I said, if I have my way to go into the Senate, I will create a bill that will distribute school buses in all the schools, especially in our FCT, because our FCT schools need to be very equipped. This is the state capital. So that is what inspired me to say, I will go to Senate. I won't just start from the local, like somebody told me, why not start from the local government chairman or councillor? So I really want where my voice will be heard and where I can be in the table of the decision makers.
And it's very, very instructive that the field you are trying to venture in right now, there are so many big wigs, yes, men, known men, and all of that. And then you being a female, and you are aiming for the sky. You understand? So how much of a challenge do you think that is?
is very challenging, but I'm not afraid. Hillary Clinton in the US, there are so many men she challenged on the pool like this, and she outsmarted them and became the winner. So what happened in those places will happen in Nigeria. Because now, why I came out and why I have the confidence that I'm going to win, I'm not just running, but I'm running to win, is that people have seen that the way politics is in Nigeria before is not the way it is now. Things have changed. Forget about the new innovation of vote buying and all that. So people really want to bring in the right people that will really deliver this country. Okay, don't be surprised. You will hear so many results. This election, sons of nobody will win this election. So we need the right candidate, irrespective of the party they are coming from. So right now, 2019 will be a different election we've never had before, because people will vote the right candidate, no matter the vote buying.
Now you're talking about people, the electorate, men, women, yes, of all different backgrounds, yes, the poor, the downtrodden, people that have really been, yes, suppressed for a long time.
There is something you said, that this election, that I'm vying the position and I have men, big men, and you know, and I'm a woman. Yes, what will deliver me is character. That is what I believe. And not only that, they are not going to vote me because I'm a woman. They are going to vote me because I'm coming there to deliver. Especially people of FCT, because I did my research, I found out that they are not happy. They are not getting that dividend of democracy. They want somebody who will represent them and represent them effectively, no matter where the person is coming from. I am not an indigene, but I have gone round and I found out that they really want to vote for me because they know that I am coming to deliver. I gave them my confidence and I sold my confidence to them that I will deliver. If not for anything, when I went to a place in Kwali, I found out that there was no health care. A remote area in Kwali, and the road there, very, very, very small road. I now asked the women, as I saw them gathering, cooking and doing kunu and all that, I said, what if a woman wants to deliver in the midnight? How will she do? They said that the woman will enter Okada and go all the way to Gogolada. You know how many minutes from Kwali to Gogolada? So what if she not delivers on the way? So we need health centers in these areas. And if giving me the mandate, I will try my best to make sure that I create bills, because I'm not going to give anybody a job because I'm a legislator. I'm a senator. I'm not coming to give you a job. I will not promise what I cannot do. But I will tell you my effort and what I can put, the bills I can put in place that will put food in the table of the ordinary people and better their lives. So I will create a bill that will make sure that I meet my colleagues of like minds, and we create a bill that will deliver health centers in all local government areas. In all local government areas, there's supposed to be health centers, there's supposed to be good road, there's supposed to be water.
All right, now you are a woman.
Yes.
Let me still come back to that. And from past experiences, women, they have the largest number when it comes to electioneering issues.
Yes.
They don't really contest much, but the times of voting, they can come out, they're ready to stay and exercise their franchise. But they have not really been able to turn their number into opportunity for women in governance. The few women that are there to come out, we find out that women in particular hardly vote for women. Now, this is FCT. You are not an indigene. You are a woman. There are so many money bags that are men are around.
Yeah.
How are you convinced that FCT election, the senatorial election for FCT will be different in your case, that you have the support of the women in particular? And as an affiliation, the youth, because women and youth always go hand in hand most of the time. So what conviction do you have that it's going to be different this time?
Anyway, in the case of women not voting women, you know, in the case of men, they know who succeeds them and they know who they are following. And when they said we are going to put it, when men come together and said this man is going to be the next president or senator, they will start pursuing it. But it's not the case in the women. But I did one thing. I had to bring a Gwagi man as my campaign manager. I brought a Gwagi woman as my woman campaign leader. And they have been taking me around places I need to go to this is people I need to see, you know, talk to them and tell them my ideology, tell them what I have for them. And many of them are telling me they are going to support me and they are going to vote me, and I'm hopeful that they are going to vote me. Yes.
What about the other settlers? Because you have more settlers in Abuja than the
Yes, we have the non-indigenous. Many of them, I spoke to them, especially in churches and in mosques, you know, where we went to for visitation and all that. So I told them my ideology, I sold my ideology to them, I sold my confidence to them. The worst is that when I tell them anything, I tell them I don't have money for them. This is a new generation we are building. This is a new Nigeria. I never, as I'm talking to you now, because I don't have a godfather, and we are trying to remove the godfatherism in our political dispensation now. So I told them I don't have any money for them, but what I have is my confidence. So because if they vote me without me paying them any money, that means I'm a servant to them forever. I am going there to deliver. So that if I spend my money, I have bought them for another 4 years. I can go in there and start doing what I like or switch my phone. I will not be accessible because I have spent the money I'm supposed to give them. But whereby I didn't give them a dime and I saw their support, because many places we go, they sing for me, they dance for me, and I don't give them anything. They are happy because I'm seeing their faces happy. You know, what I do is to sell my ideology, sell my manifesto, tell them what I can be able to do. And I will also tell them by myself, I am going to leave you guys now, but I am not going to drop a dime for you because I don't have any money now. But by the time you vote me into power, I am your servant forever and I will deliver.
Thank you very much. She is your servant, FCT. She is ready to deliver. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the program continues.
You don't do. I don't tire for all the things where you do yarn.
Blood don't be right. You the yarn no pattern. Sure you think say na only you feel booga. I go show you.
This matter don't have to be careful. You dey show yourself all these years. I just dey look you. This time you go know the kind of person we are.
I've been the watch as you dey try scatter my future.
The future where I dey try organize for myself. Small. Now you dey try kill abi.
Not to kill, scatter, and destroy my purpose. Always the agenda, abi. Oh, but you know, Fito, not this time.
I don't set my own agenda.
I know how way your agenda go fit past my agenda.
Because my agenda is strong past your agenda.
For this election, the agenda now.
It's our future.
No violence.
Just vote.
Set the agenda for this election. No violence, just vote.
Welcome back. The program is still Nigeria Today, and I have with me, in case you are joining us, Lady Doris Amaka Opara, the senatorial candidate for the Africa Action Congress. Now, 2019 general election in perspective. Yes. Now, there has been a notion in the polity, amongst the political parties especially, that the ruling party, being the party in government, having the incumbent also signifying interest to run. Yeah. There's the issue of incumbency and all of that. Yeah. That some way, somehow, they are planning to manipulate the electoral processes in their favor, using the umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, the security agencies, and every other thing. Do you think there is substance to this issue?
Yes. The way I look at it, it is true that they are trying to manipulate the election, because I'm going to give you 2 or 3 instances why I said this. You know, the forceful retirement of DJs, of the DIGs, sorry, the forceful retirement of these DIGs. Why retiring them when they are not up to the stage of retirement? What is the issue? That is the question. What is that thing that is linking, that make you to pick a DIG and say, go for compulsory retirement? Why? That is a question I'm asking myself. Then the second one is the alleged removal of the CGN. Okay? So even if the CGN committed a blunder or committed something that is not good, he was there 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, just few days to the election. Why removing him? Why not just allow him to finish his tenure? See, you didn't remove him all this while. You didn't bring out this issue all this while. So why bringing it now? So what I call this is election distraction. I gave it a quote. I said it's election distraction. So all these things should not be happening. For me, left to me alone, they are not supposed to record this case for now. Maybe allow it to. We have a lot of crises in Nigeria now. Even if only the Boko Haram alone killing our soldiers and all that, you know. Just 3 days ago, we were in the Christian Economic Center where we celebrated our fallen heroes. You know, I was in that service, but I was not happy at all, especially when the Catholic Archbishop of the Catholic Church, the Cardinal Onaikan, started speaking about the war, 1966 war and all that. So we should not bring these things. We should not bring things that will take us back, because war is taking us back. We don't want war in Nigeria. So no matter who wins the election, we want peace to reign in Nigeria. So if we want peace to reign in Nigeria, these are the issues we are not supposed to be bringing up. Okay? And I'm very, very, very angry. When I started watching channels, I watched AIT. I think this is your network. I watched them. And it was only men lawyers they are bringing to talk about this issue. Why? Women should, it doesn't mean that we don't have female lawyers, female barristers who are capable to come in and talk about this issue. Because these male lawyers, I watched them, they were just quoting Section 1, Section 2. But women will come and tell you what it is and how it is straight without quoting anything. So we should be adding women in this kind of discourse.
All right, now you believe the ruling party in one way or the other might influence the election.
Yes, another thing is that political parties are not really showing up that there is an opponent. Apart from PDP that is making noise and dealing it with them, with APC, together with APC. Other political parties, they are trying their best, but their best is not really enough. Because, one, what they were expecting, they didn't get from the government. Okay? Government is supposed to reimburse funds to all political parties for them to be able to conduct their election effectively. And I'm praying for a new Nigeria. And I'm part of a new Nigeria. That is why I left PDP and I left APC and I choose AAC. AAC is a neutral party, is a clean party. They are not corrupt. Because people are tired of these two big parties and they are really looking for a new thing that will bring about that positive change to Nigeria. So what am I trying to tell you is that we are going to witness a new Nigeria whereby an incumbent is not going to contest for any election. If you finish your 4 years, quietly leave. Let new people contest from, irrespective of the party they are coming from. That if we start doing this, that is when we will find that our election will go free and fair and without any hinge, and nobody will have any problem with each other. So where an incumbent will not contest, we are going to that level. We will get to that level. All right.
You are aiming to join the legislature.
Yes.
Now, the current legislature we have has not really have a smooth relationship with the the executive as it is. Now, in the incoming parliament, when you enter, what are you going to do differently to ensure first that there is cohesion between the three arms of government, and then that laws, bills, and whatever passes through you are ones that will directly affect people to create this change that Nigeria have been really desiring over time? What exactly are you going to bring in differently from what we have currently?
What I'm going to bring differently is that we will have to summon both the executive and the legislators in a very serious meeting and let them know that this is what they are here for. Because as I'm talking to you, many of them are there, but they don't really know what they are there for. They think what they are there for is just to, collect their wardrobe allowance and all that. They are not really putting effort. They are not really putting that effort why people voted them into power. Okay? Legislator and executive should come together because they are one body and create bills that will promote peace in Nigeria. They said when people are doing something in a uniform way, in a united way, it will work. But when there is a division, it's really, really a problem. There is no effective results coming out of division, but only when unity prevails. you will see effective results.
Now, the current constitution that Nigeria runs, many people have said that the constitution is flawed in so many ways, which that's why it's giving room to a lot of impunity and all of that. Do you really think the Nigerian constitution, as it's operated today, that it needs an overhaul?
It needs an overhaul. It needs to be reviewed. They will look at it. Where is lacking, they can amend. It needs an amendment. And that is what I just said before, that legislative and the executive will come together to look at these things and amend the constitution.
Nigeria is divided along ethnic, religious, and so many divides right now. And it is we are looking up to legislations, policies that will put a stop to a lot of all of this that divides us. And fortunately, you hopefully will be entering joining the legislature. What are you going to do differently to make sure that to evolve a new Nigeria where anybody, irrespective of wherever you are, you operate first as a Nigerian before talking about ethnic or whatever divide?
In this area, we are going to create policies that will bring about unity. As long as you are in Nigeria, you are in Nigeria. When you travel abroad, they ask you, once they see your green passport, they take you as a Nigerian. They don't want to ask you where you are from. They don't want to ask you whether you are Igbo or Hausa and Yoruba. So we are going to create a bill that will bring Nigeria unity together. Then, let's say, for example, the people of FCT, because they complained a lot when I did my research that they are marginalized. They are not happy with the government, okay? And they are not really getting that dividend of democracy. So I am coming to the FCT to make a law that will benefit them, that will make them at least be happy. Not only that, if you go to Dubai, the original people of Dubai, we call them local, they have their place inside the Dubai town. They never pursue them to the village because they are local, because the development is coming to their side. So because they are local, they should move to the bushes and all that. No, they built good houses for them
and integrated them
integrate them into the system, make them be part of the system. They call themselves locals. When you see them, you know that they are locals and they are benefiting from their government. Many of them are not working, but they are on salaries. Okay, so we are going to do that for the people of FCT.
Finally, tell Nigerians what you have for them. Tell FCT residents what you have for them coming from you.
Yes. My people of FCT, una well done. I am coming out to deliver the people of FCT. There are things we are supposed to be getting from the government we are not getting. Despite that, FCT is the capital of Nigeria. So we are going to be looking at all of that, especially school buses in all the secondary and primary schools. If I do that alone, I think I have gone a long way. And not only that, I will make sure that I touch the economic development of the people of FCT by doing what? Building more factories. Create bills that will build more factories and industries in the areas of all the 6 areas of FCT, so that the ordinary people will have food on their table, whether they went to school or not. Many of the people we are expecting to vote for us in the local government, they are people that didn't go to school, but they have their PVCs. They know what they are talking about because they listen to their radios and they really know what the government is talking about. Now, there is hunger in Nigeria. So what we are going to do is to create bills that will produce more industries and factories, shoe factories, cassava factories, and all of that, that will employ the people that didn't go to school. Because we will only employ them for what they can do, not because of their certificates. Then, by so doing, we have really put food on their table. So, and I want to also say that women are really out for politics. These days, we are more than 1 million women running for elective positions in the next upcoming election. So what I'm going to advise is that you vote somebody because of character. Don't vote or don't discredit somebody because she is a woman, because that person you discredit may come into the system and perform credibly well. So we are going to vote in women massively into government, because anywhere women are, there is prosperity. So I want to give a final advice. So this election, I'm urging all of us to come out and vote. No matter what odd, no matter what disappointment, no matter what the news we hear every day, that shouldn't discourage us. Come out and vote because you are part of it. If you sit down in your house, you will get it for 4 years sitting down in your house. So by the time you come out and vote and be part of what we are doing and be part of what this election is going to bring about, you will be happy that you did. At least you gave your own consent and you voted for the people you want to be in power. We want the election to be free and fair.
Thank you very much. You heard it all from Lady Doris Amaka Opara, the senatorial candidate of the Africa Action Congress, the upcoming 2019 senatorial election coming up on February the 16th. Like she said, please exercise your franchise. Go and pick up your PVCs. Yes. Go to the polling booth, vote, and vote your conscience. No fighting, no killing, no thuggery. That's the size of the program. Thank you very much and have a lovely day.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to another episode of Issues of the Moment. I guarantee you it is going to be interesting, as I have one who you would like to call an articulate speaker, and she is the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. I'm talking about no other than, I know you want to find out, but that will be after this break. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and before we went on a break, I told you I had a guest who I know you would love to meet. She is Mrs. Namre Emeje, and also the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you very much.
Now today we will be talking about quite a lot of issues under the umbrella of education. And you see, education is something that we cannot rule out in any nation at all, at any level. So, speaking of secondary education, let us start this way. What is the importance of secondary education in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. You see, secondary education is very, very important because it's like the midway to your achieving your goal in life. When you are born, you go to nursery, you go to primary school. All these stages, you are guided by your parents who keep taking you to school, you come back. Junior secondary school is actually free. From primary to junior is actually free in Nigeria. So that is compulsory for everybody. But you see, when you get to secondary education, from that point, you begin to find that students are getting more mature to begin to choose what they want to become in life. And so secondary education, without secondary education, you cannot go to tertiary. And so secondary education, very, very important, though neglected, so to say, because in Nigeria, secondary education is not compulsory. But junior education is compulsory. That is the basic education, is compulsory, and that is why it is free. But at secondary level, the government have decided that you choose whether you want to go to secondary school, or you want to do commercial, or you want to learn a trade, or it depends, you want to do business. So that is it. But when you look at it, secondary education is the basic, it's very critical, because it's at that stage and at that age that children are getting more mature to begin to take decisions in life that will help them for their livelihood as time goes on.
You just mentioned something that caught my attention, the aspect of junior education being free. Does it mean that anybody who wants to attend any government school at junior level could walk in without, you know, the financial empowerment, and is sure to be sponsored through it by the government?
Very well. That is what it is.
I want to believe a lot of people are not aware of this, so this is actually good news to those who didn't know about this. Now, moving on, you see, it is one thing to be educated, but it is another thing to be educated by the right person or persons. At some point last year, and even before last year, there had been issues of incompetence amongst teachers, poor training, unqualified teachers and all that. What exactly do you think is the cause of this?
I would want to say that, you see, teaching is a profession, and there are professionals that are taught to be teachers. So when you get it right, you get the right things that should be impacted in the life of the students. The reason is because in secondary education board, for instance, we ensure that we employ graduates. And once you are a graduate teachers, those that are trained to be teachers, those are the ones that are supposed to be teachers. But I tell you the truth, you see, with so much unemployment in the country, you find out that there are some people that don't mind going into the teaching profession even though they were not trained teachers in the university. And if there is opportunity for them to be employed, they come in there and they want to now take a training in teaching, even though they were not trained as teachers from the onset. So I want to think that these are some of the reasons, you know, that gave room for such things. When some people come in, not being trained teachers, and then later on they want to take a profession in teaching because there was no employment from the onset. But for us in secondary education board, what we do is that even if you are not a trained teacher and you have to be employed, you will promise us that within the first year of employment, you must go and then attain a postgraduate diploma in education. So that's what we do in secondary education board. You must go for a postgraduate diploma in education. Once that promise is on ground, you make a commitment. Then written, yes, we have a form that we fill, and then we give you fill the form, say that within 1 year you go for your PGD, postgraduate diploma in education. So that helps you to bridge the gap in education. So as you bridge the gap in education, then you find out that you flow along.
Okay, does it mean to a large extent that there's a likelihood that majority of teachers in secondary school are probably graduates of College of Education or education graduates? Because what is really giving room for, at employment level, is there any law or any sanction or so to say that says when you are employing anybody, the person doesn't have traces of education or is not willing to do that, then don't employ the person? Maybe that will curb all of this to some extent. Is there any rule?
Yes, you see, that's why I said that, you know, from the onset, because of lack of job in Nigeria, there are so many graduates that are hanging around, even though they are not teachers, they don't mind being employed as teachers to teach. And so when they come in, for us in secondary education board, we make them to enter a commitment with us that within the first year, if they must remain in secondary school to teach, then they have to go for a postgraduate diploma. And this postgraduate diploma is being taught by, we have a lot of schools that, you know, teach and take this postgraduate diploma. The National Teachers Institute is one that is very, very effective in running the postgraduate diploma program, which helps in bridging the gap between those that are not trained teachers but are willing to teach. They are not trained teachers because they don't have education background. Trained teachers are those that in their university days they did education. They have maybe BSc Ed or B.Ed. These are trained teachers.
Or someone who attended a college of education.
Those that attended colleges of education are not employed by us. We only employ graduates to teach.
Really?
Yes.
Graduates of
They are not qualified to teach in our secondary schools. Only graduates teach in our secondary schools.
What about those who attend or who attended teachers training?
Yes, and colleges of education. They are only allowed to teach in junior secondary schools and primary schools.
Okay.
So that's the difference. For us in secondary schools, senior secondary schools, it is graduates that teach. Only graduates teach.
Okay, is there some sort of monitoring maybe board or so that sees to it that those people live up to their commitment?
Yes, they live up to their commitment because we have immediately they are employed, they are supposed to submit their certificate within that 1 year. And if after 1 year you don't submit the certificate, of course you'll be called upon to ask why, and then whatever is the reason, then we'll now take it up from there.
Okay. Now the issue of skill acquisition has been up for quite some time, the importance and all of that, because people sometimes have come to notice that majority of the youth in Nigeria, maybe I should just narrow it to Nigeria.
Yes.
They have the mindset that you are going to school to graduate to be able to work. Not really most of them know that you could actually be in school and be doing something by the side, acquire skills if possible, and then empower yourself. So at secondary school level, is there any provision for skill acquisition for students so that when they leave secondary school, even before getting admission into the university, they are empowered skill-wise?
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting, and I think it may interest you to note that for us in Secondary Education Board, we are already on top of that situation concerning skills acquisition. And in 2012, the NERDC came up with a new curriculum on trade subjects that every school, secondary school, senior secondary school, must offer trade subjects. And what are these trade subjects? We have trade subjects like fisheries, poultry, garment making, tailoring, bricklaying. We have a retinue of about 35 subjects that make up the trade subject, 35 of them. And in FCT, we are offering 22 of these trade subjects. And so our students are doing fantastically well on this skills acquisition. So we teach them, and every child is expected to take at least one trade subject.
Okay, so they have the liberty to take more than one?
To take more, yes. At least one trade subject as part of what you do in your studies. And you write your national examinations, and that is WAEC and NECO. You write it. We have photography. We have a lot of them. And then we have teachers that teach this in the schools. We usually hold exhibitions, in the trade subject exhibitions, and then we exhibit and show what our students are doing in schools. So we have that already, and we also have this partnership we have with the SAGE Nigeria, which is a kind of an outfit that help children in this an advancement of entrepreneurship. So this entrepreneurship thing, they go for competitions. Our students go outside the country for competitions on SAGE entrepreneurship, and they have even won outside the country. They won the competition and they have come back. And most of the times you find out that they are into this. Right now, one of our schools, Government Girls Secondary School Abaji, are producing sandals that we have just approved that it will be used for the school. It is the sandals that we have approved to be used by everybody, and it is produced by the students in the school.
That's an interesting one, you must say.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to more of it. It's
Yeah.
going to be a good thing to see our students be empowered skill-wise, and this is a welcome development, 100%. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the discussion will continue. Stay with us. The program program is still Issues of the Moment, and I'm still speaking with Mrs. Namure Emeje, and we are talking about secondary education in Nigeria, everything you need to know about secondary education in Nigeria. She is an embodiment of all the information you need to find out. Just throw it at her and she gives it back to you. Still talking secondary school. One very, very pertinent issue that is eating deep into the system is cultism. But you find out that it is usually played down on at secondary level. They make it seem like it is only at university level that cultists exist. Now, what do you think what is the situation of things as far as cultism is concerned in secondary school reforms?
Well, I will not totally say that maybe cultism is eradicated in the secondary schools, because I want to believe that that is the starting point, that they begin from that level and take it into, the tertiary institutions. But for us, we have put in a lot of measures to check these things in our schools. And one of it is that if we find out that there's any such vice in any child in the school, the child goes on expulsion immediately. Because we don't want to keep such children in the school and then they become bad eggs that
so they
corrupt
don't contaminate
the others, so they don't contaminate and then corrupt the others. So if you are caught in that, you are just expelled from the school immediately. We don't want it to be so, and that is why I think we've been able to bring it down to a very, very, very low level. In fact, we have zero tolerance for cultism in our schools, and we don't have incidences of this cultism in our schools.
Perhaps that's why we even barely hear about it, because
exactly
it has been reduced. I remember one time, that was years back, when they caught some cultists in the secondary school in one of those states, and people were shocked, the secondary school and all that. But then with time, we stopped hearing news about cultism, so that's actually an evidence that you're doing a great job. Moving on, the area of poor infrastructure. I get to see pictures of some secondary schools dilapidated, and the environment is not too conducive for learning. Is there any form of intervention by the government or anybody to handle this key area? Because the environment for learning is very important.
Yes. Thank you very much. You see, education generally is expensive. Very, very expensive. And we all know that the government alone cannot do it. And that is why, like for basic education, which is primary and junior secondary school, they have some intervention. They have intervention from the commission. They have, that intervention fund. Tertiary institution, we have the TED fund, which comes in to intervene for tertiary institutions because education is expensive. But you find out that for us secondary school, we are left in the middle, like orphans. We don't have any intervention fund coming with secondary school. And that is why you find out that it's only the government that is left to fund our secondary education, which leaves the burden so much on it. To be fair to the FCT minister has been doing a lot as regards education in FCT, especially the senior secondary school. He has been so liberal, and he's always been there to ensure that funds are released for us at the nick of time. But the problem is that the influx of people into Abuja has already put so much burden and weight on secondary education. Because when people leave and move and come with their families, they want to go into secondary school, most of them secondary education. And of course, the junior students that graduate from junior secondary school are also coming into the senior secondary school. So you find out that the burden on senior secondary school is so much, and yet we don't have any counterpart funding. We don't have any counterpart funding. So the minister has been trying, and he has been doing that alone. And so that is what is responsible for our dilapidated infrastructure. So paucity of funds is the main thing. That's why you find out that our infrastructures are so old, and then there's no expansion, yet there are so many people coming in and they want this secondary education. But by the grace of God, this 2018 that just passed, the minister was able to put, some money for us to be able to expand some of the schools that we know that need expansion, and then some of the structures to renovate, and then to also, bring in some furniture into the school. So all that is already in place, and I'm sure in the next 2 to 3 months you begin to see a lot of development coming in from our existing schools.
Okay, another good news there. Okay, before we wind up, maybe 1 or 2 more questions. The aspect of inadequate payment of teachers. These people are working, and you see sometimes that they pay transport fee to get to work. Some of them have to fuel their cars and all that. But then if the payment is not in tandem with what they do, then that's a challenge, because it takes one who is in the right state of mind to be able to pass knowledge to another person. So what do you think is being done regarding the issue of payment of teachers?
Well, I think that one is that one is beyond me here, because that is why we're talking about minimum wage. That's why Nigeria we're fighting for increase
so
in
it's encompassing this
minimum wage. We are all civil servants, the teachers are part of it. So if the minimum wage is increased, we find out that generally they will also benefit from it. With that as it may, we try at our own end to motivate our teachers. And what we do, some of the things we do, like teacher training, we train them. And we also have some partners that come in, some of these organizations, they come in to assist and say, okay, we want to train some of your teachers on ICT, we want to train them on science, we want to train them on mathematics. So we have all these incentives that come in, both from some partners and then some NGOs and then some corporations. And that is it. Like recently, towards the end of last year, NCC donated computers to 8 of our schools. So you discover that these are some of the incentives that come. And then all this come into help teaching and then learning. It comes into help teaching and learning. So these are some of the ways that we do. And then, like another incentive for the teachers, we ensure at this secondary level that when a teacher is due for promotion, at least as much as possible, we ensure that their promotion comes as a whole, so that the promotion comes in to motivate them. They know that now they are being promoted. So with the promotion, at least the salary will be increased a little. So these are part of the incentives that we put in and then try to ensure that they are also getting. Yes.
Okay, let us round off on this note with this last question. With your wealth of experience, what do you think, perhaps we should call it a recommendation or recommendations, what do you think can be done to enhance educational plan in Nigeria at secondary school level?
Well, the educational planning, let me just take them twofold. Educational planning as a holistic thing for secondary school, how to plan so that we ensure that if we plan well, this influence that we're talking about, when they come in, there is already a plan on ground for them to ensure that it's supposed to harness everything that is in there. Now, paucity of funds, like I said, is one of them. And the second thing is some of the motivations that you rightly talked about, the salary and then some things like that. But at our own end in secondary, we have a planning, research and statistics unit that is already planning towards the next 5 years. You understand? The next 5 years, the next 10 years. Actually, Secretariat, Education Secretariat as a whole, we have a document that we have planned for education, secondary education, for the next 10 years. But paucity of funds is a problem. Funds, release of funds to ensure that these things are done, because the planning involves how many classes we should, build this year, how many classes should be done, how many toilets, how many, so that when these children come in, you find out that the things are really ready for them to come in. But you see, when the money is not there to make sure that this planning program that we have done on ground is carried out, then it's a problem. But educational planning on the aspect of the children in school, in our schools, we have a guidance and counseling unit. Every school, we have guidance and counseling unit that counsel the children on how they can choose their course, how they can be better, and then how they can, become better people as they are leaving secondary education to move into the tertiary institution. So all that is already in place for the learning of these children, so that as the children are going out, you discover that, oh, some of these children want to do something that is so weird. So we have these teachers who are specialists in guidance and counseling. So they guide them, counsel them and say, no, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And some of them that are following, they have become better people. We also have some scholarship schemes that some of these embassies are also giving to us. So we have a lot of our children, some of our students in China, we have some of them in America. They're giving them on scholarship, and they are there from public senior secondary schools. So you can see that the minister is really, really doing a lot in education. Together with the Secretary for Education, we are doing a lot to ensure that secondary education is taken to the next level.
Wow, with so much smile on your face when you said that, we're optimistic that there's hope, better future for secondary school students in Nigeria. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful speaking with you. I was enthralled throughout. We could go on and on with the discussion if not for time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine.
We do hope next time you would oblige.
I will.
Because I look forward to speaking with you again. My guest has been Mrs. Nanure Emeje, and she's the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board, and we've been talking about all things secondary school education. We do hope you enjoyed the conversation. Join us same time next time on the program Issues of the Moment. I remain your host, Eunice Johnson. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to another episode of Issues of the Moment. I guarantee you it is going to be interesting, as I have one who you would like to call an articulate speaker, and she is the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. I'm talking about no other than, I know you want to find out, but that will be after this break. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and before we went on a break, I told you I had a guest who I know you would love to meet. She is Mrs. Nanure Emeje, and also the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you very much.
Now today we will be talking about quite a lot of issues under the umbrella of education. And you see, education is something that we cannot rule out in any nation at all, at any level. So, speaking of secondary education, let us start this way. What is the importance of secondary education in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. You see, secondary education is very, very important, because it's like the midway to your achieving your goal in life. When you are born, you go to nursery, you go to primary school. All these stages, you are guided by your parents who keep taking you to school. You come back. Junior secondary school is actually free. From primary to junior is actually free in Nigeria. So that is compulsory for everybody. But you see, when you get to secondary education, from that point, you begin to find that students are getting more mature to begin to choose what they want to become in life. And so secondary education, without secondary education, you cannot go to tertiary. And so secondary education, very, very important, though neglected, so to say, because in Nigeria, secondary education is not compulsory. But junior education is compulsory. That is the basic education, is compulsory. And that is why it is free. But at secondary level, the government have decided that you choose whether you want to go to secondary school, or you want to do commercial, or you want to learn a trade, or it depends, you want to do business. So that is it. But when you look at it, secondary education is the basic, it's very critical, because it's at that stage and at that age that children are getting more mature to begin to take decisions in life that will help them for their livelihood as time goes on.
You just mentioned something that caught my attention, the aspect of junior education being free. Does it mean that anybody who wants to attend any government school at junior level could walk in without the financial empowerment and is sure to be sponsored through it by the government?
Very well. That is what it is.
I want to believe a lot of people are not aware of this, so this is actually good news to those who didn't know about this. Now, moving on, you see, it is one thing to be educated, but it is another thing to be educated by the right person or persons. At some point last year, and even before last year, there had been issues of incompetence amongst teachers, poor training, unqualified teachers and all that. What exactly do you think is the cause of this?
I would want to say that, you see, teaching is a profession, and there are professionals that are taught to be teachers. So when you get it right, you get the right things that should be impacted in the life of the students. The reason is because in secondary education board, for instance, we ensure that we employ graduates. And once you are a graduate teachers, those that are trained to be teachers, those are the ones that are supposed to be teachers. But I tell you the truth, you see, with so much unemployment in the country, you find out that there are some people that don't mind going into the teaching profession even though they were not trained teachers in the university. And if there is opportunity for them to be employed, they come in there and they want to now take a training in teaching, even though they were not trained as teachers from the onset. So I want to think that these are some of the reasons, that gave room for such things. When some people come in, not being trained teachers, and then later on they want to take a profession in teaching because there was no employment from the onset. But for us in secondary education board, what we do is that even if you are not a trained teacher and you have to be employed, you would promise us that within the first year of employment, you must go and then attain a postgraduate diploma in education. So that's what we do in secondary education board. You must go for a postgraduate diploma in education. Once that promise is on ground, you make a commitment. Then written, yes, we have a form that we fill, and then we give you fill the form, say that within 1 year you go for your PGD, postgraduate diploma in education. So that helps you to bridge the gap in education. So as you bridge the gap in education, then you find out that you flow along.
Okay, does it mean to a large extent that there's a likelihood that majority of teachers in secondary school are probably graduates of College of Education or education graduates? Because what is really giving room for, at employment level, is there any law or any sanction or so to say that says when you are employing anybody, if the person doesn't have traces of education or is not willing to do that, then don't employ the person? Maybe that will curb all of this to some extent. Is there any rule?
Yes, you see, that's why I said that, from the onset, because of lack of job in Nigeria, there are so many graduates that are hanging around, even though they are not teachers, they don't mind being employed as teachers to teach. And so when they come in, for us in secondary education board, we make them to enter a commitment with us that within the first year, if they must remain in secondary school to teach, then they have to go for a postgraduate diploma. And this postgraduate diploma is being taught by, we have a lot of schools that teach and take this postgraduate diploma. The National Teachers Institute is one that is very, very effective in running the postgraduate diploma program, which helps in bridging the gap between those that are not trained teachers but are willing to teach. They are not trained teachers because they don't have education background. Trained teachers are those that in their university days they did education. They have maybe BSc Ed or B.Ed. These are trained teachers.
Or someone who attended a college of education.
Those that attended colleges of education are not employed by us. We only employ graduates to teach.
Really?
Yes.
Graduates of
They are not qualified to teach in our secondary schools. Only graduates teach in our secondary schools.
What about those who attend or who attended teachers training
institutes? And colleges of education, they are only allowed to teach in junior secondary schools and primary schools.
Okay.
So that's the difference. For us in secondary schools, senior secondary schools, it is graduates that teach. Only graduates teach.
Okay, is there some sort of monitoring maybe board or so that sees to it that those people live up to their commitment?
Yes, they live up to their commitment because we have immediately they are employed, they are supposed to submit their certificate within that 1 year. And if after 1 year you don't submit the certificate, of course you'll be called upon to ask why, and then whatever is the reason, then we'll now take it up from there.
Okay, now the issue of skill acquisition has been up for quite some time, the importance and all of that, because people sometimes have come to notice that majority of the youth in Nigeria, maybe I should just narrow it to Nigeria,
yes,
they have the mindset that you are going to school to graduate to be able to work. Not really most of them know that you could actually be in school and be doing something by the side, acquire skills if possible, and then empower yourself. So at secondary school level, is there any provision for skill acquisition for students so that when they leave secondary school, even before getting admission into the university, they are empowered skill-wise?
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting, and I think it may interest you to note that for us in secondary education board, we are already on top of that situation concerning skills acquisition. And in 2012, the NERDC came up with a new curriculum on trade subjects that every school, secondary school, senior secondary school, must offer trade subjects. And what are these trade subjects? We have trade subjects like fisheries, poultry, garment making, tailoring, bricklaying. We have a retinue of about 35 subjects that make up the trade subject, 35 of them. And in FCT, we are offering 22 of these trade subjects. And so our students are doing fantastically well on this skills acquisition. So we teach them, and every child is expected to take at least one trade subject.
Okay, so they have the liberty to take more than one?
To take more, yes. At least one trade subject as part of what you do in your studies. And you write your national examinations, and that is WAEC and NECO. You write it. We have photography. We have a lot of them. And then we have teachers that teach this in the schools. We usually hold exhibitions, in the trade subject exhibitions, and then we exhibit and show what our students are doing in schools. So we have that already, and we also have this partnership we have with the Sage Nigeria, which is a kind of an outfit that, you know, help children in this an advancement of entrepreneurship. So this entrepreneurship thing, they go for competitions. Our students go outside the country for competitions on stage entrepreneurship, and they have even won outside the country. They won the competition and they have come back. And most of the times you find out that they are into this. Right now, one of our schools, Government Girls Secondary School Abaji, are producing sandals that we have just approved that it will be used for the school. It is the sandals that we have approved to be used by everybody, and it is produced by the students in the school.
That's an interesting one, you must say.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to more of it. It's going to be a good thing to see our students be empowered skill-wise, and this is a welcome development, 100%. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the discussion will continue. Stay with us. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and I'm still speaking with Mrs. Namure Emeje, and we are talking about secondary education in Nigeria, everything you need to know about secondary education in Nigeria. She is an embodiment of all the information you need to find out. Just throw it at her and she gives it back to you. Still talking secondary school. One very, very pertinent issue that is eating deep into the system is cultism. But you find out that it is usually played down on at secondary level. They make it seem like it is only at university level that cultists exist. Now, what do you think what is the situation of things as far as cultism is concerned, secondary school wise?
Well, I will not totally say that maybe cultism is eradicated in the secondary schools, because I want to believe that that is the starting point, that they begin from that level and take it into, you know, the tertiary institutions. But for us, we have put in a lot of measures to check these things in our schools. And one of it is that if we find out that there's any such vice in any child in the school, the child goes on expulsion immediately. Because we don't want to keep such children in the school, and then they become bad eggs that can corrupt the others, so they don't contaminate and then corrupt the others. So if you are caught in that, you are just expelled from the school immediately. We don't want it to be so, and that is why I think we've been able to bring it down to a very, very, very low level. In fact, we have zero tolerance for cultism in our schools, and we don't have incidences of this cultism in our schools.
Perhaps that's why we even barely hear about it, because it has been reduced. I remember one time, that was years back, when they caught some cultists in a secondary school in one of those states, and people were shocked that, you know, the secondary school and all that. But then with time, we stopped hearing news about cultism, so that's actually an evidence that we're doing a great job. Moving on, the area of poor infrastructure. I get to see pictures of some secondary schools dilapidated, and the environment is not too conducive for learning. Is there any form of intervention by the government or anybody to handle this key area? Because the environment for learning is very important.
Yes. Thank you very much. You see, education generally is expensive. Very, very expensive. And we all know that the government alone cannot do it. And that is why, like for basic education, which is primary and junior secondary school, they have some intervention. They have intervention from the commission. They have, you know, that intervention fund. Tertiary institution, we have the TED fund, which comes in to intervene for tertiary institutions because education is expensive. But you find out that for us, secondary school, we are left in the middle, like orphans. We don't have any intervention fund coming into the secondary school. And that is why you find out that it's only the government that is left to fund our secondary education, which leaves the burden so much on it. to be fair to the FCT minister has been doing a lot as regards education in FCT, especially the senior secondary school. He has been so liberal, and he's always been there to ensure that funds are released for us at the nick of time. But the problem is that the influx of people into Abuja has already put so much burden and weight on secondary education. Because when people leave and move and come with their families, they want to go into secondary schools, most of them secondary education. And of course, the junior students that graduate from junior secondary schools are also coming into the senior secondary schools. So you find out that the burden on senior secondary school is so much, and yet we don't have any counterpart funding. We don't have any counterpart funding. So the minister has been trying, and he has been doing that alone. And so that is what is responsible for our dilapidated infrastructure. So paucity of funds is the main thing. That's why you find out that our infrastructures are so old, and then there's no expansion, yet there are so many people coming in and they want this secondary education. But by the grace of God, this 2018 that just passed, the minister was able to put some money for us to be able to expand some of the schools that we know that need expansion, and then some of the structures to renovate, and then to also bring in some furniture into the school. So all that is already in place, and I'm sure in the next 2 to 3 months you begin to see a lot of development coming in our existing schools.
Okay, another good news there. Okay, before we wind up, maybe 1 or 2 more questions. The aspect of inadequate payment of teachers. These people are working, and you see sometimes that they pay transport fee to get to work. Some of them have to fuel their cars and all that. But then if the payment is not in tandem with what they do, then that's a challenge, because it takes one who is in the right state of mind to be able to pass knowledge to another person. So what do you think is being done regarding the issue of payment of teachers?
Well, I think that one is that one is beyond me here, because that is why we're talking about minimum wage. That's why Nigeria we're fighting for increase in the minimum wage. So it's encompassing minimum wage. We are all civil servants, the teachers are part of it. So if the minimum wage is increased, you find out that generally they will also benefit from it. Be that as it may, we try at our own end to motivate our teachers. And what we do, some of the things we do, like teacher training, we train them. And we also have some partners that come in, some of these organizations, they come in to assist and say, okay, we want to train some of your teachers on ICT, we want to train them on science, we want to train them on mathematics. So we have all these incentives that come in, both from some partners and then some NGOs and then some corporations. And that is it. Like recently, towards the end of last year, NCC donated computers to 8 of our schools. So you discover that these are some of the incentives that come. And then all these come in to help teaching and then learning. It comes in to help teaching and learning. So these are some of the ways that we do. And then, like another incentive for the teachers, we ensure at this secondary level that when a teacher is due for promotion, at least as much as possible, we ensure that their promotion comes as a whole, so that the promotion comes in to motivate them. They know that they are being promoted. So with the promotion, at least the salary will be increased a little. So these are part of the incentives that we put in, and then try to ensure that they are also getting. Yes.
Okay, let us round off on this note with this last question. With your wealth of experience, what do you think, perhaps we should call it a recommendation or recommendations, what do you think can be done to enhance educational plan in Nigeria at secondary school level?
Well, the educational planning, let me just take them twofold. Educational planning as a holistic thing for secondary school, how to plan so that we ensure that if we plan well, this influence that we're talking about, you know, when they come in, there is already a plan on ground for them to ensure that it's supposed to harness everything that is in there. Now, paucity of funds, like I said, is one of them. And the second thing is some of the motivations that you rightly talked about, the salary and then some things like that. But at our own end in secondary, we have a planning, research and statistics unit that is already planning towards the next 5 years. You understand? The next 5 years, the next 10 years. Actually, Secretariat, Education Secretariat as a whole, we have a document that we have planned for education, secondary education, for the next 10 years. But paucity of funds is a problem. Funds, release of funds to ensure that these things are done, because the planning involves how many classes we should, you know, build this year, how many classes should be done, how many toilets, how many, so that when these children come in, we find out that the things are really ready for them to come in. But you see, when the money is not there to make sure that this planning program that we have done on ground is carried out, then it's a problem. But educational planning on the aspect of the children in school, in our schools, we have a guidance and counseling unit. Every school, we have guidance and counseling unit that counsel the children on how they can choose their course, how they can be better, and then how they can, you know, become better people as they are leaving secondary education to move into the tertiary institution. So all that is already in place for the learning of these children, so that as the children are going out, you discover that, oh, some of these children want to do something that is so weird. So we have these teachers who are specialists in guidance and counseling. So they guide them, counsel them and say, no, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And some of them that are following, they have become better people. We also have some scholarship schemes that some of these embassies are also giving to us. So we have a lot of our children, some of our students in China, we have some of them in America. They're giving them on scholarship, and they are there from public senior secondary schools. So you can see that the minister is really, really doing a lot in education. Together with the Secretary for Education, they are doing a lot to ensure that secondary education is taken to the next level.
Wow, with so much smile on your face when you said that, we're optimistic that, you know, there's hope, better future for secondary school students in Nigeria. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful speaking with you. I was enthralled throughout. We could go on and on with the discussion if not for time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine.
We do hope next time you would oblige.
I will.
Because I look forward to speaking with you again. My guest has been Mrs. Nanure Emeje, and she's the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. And we've been talking about all things secondary school education. We do hope you enjoyed the conversation. Join us same time next time on the program Issues of the Moment. I remain your host, Eunice Johnson. Bye for now. And welcome to another episode of Issues of the Moment. I guarantee you it is going to be interesting, as I have one who you would like to call an articulate speaker, and she is the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. I'm talking about no other than, I know you want to find out, but that will be after this break. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and before we went on a break, I told you I had a guest who I know you would love to meet. She is Mrs. Namre Emeje, and also the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. You're welcome, Madam.
Thank you very much.
Now today we will be talking about quite a lot of issues under the umbrella of education. And you see, education is something that we cannot rule out in any nation at all, at any level. So, speaking of secondary education, let us start this way. What is the importance of secondary education in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. You see, secondary education is very, very important because it's like the midway to your achieving your goal in life. When you are born, you go to nursery, you go to primary school. All these stages, you are guided by your parents who keep taking you to school, you come back. Junior secondary school is actually free. From primary to junior is actually free in Nigeria. So that is compulsory for everybody. But you see, when you get to secondary education, from that point, you begin to find that students are getting more mature to begin to choose what they want to become in life. And so secondary education, without secondary education, you cannot go to tertiary. And so secondary education, very, very important, though neglected, so to say, because in Nigeria, secondary education is not compulsory. But junior education is compulsory. That is the basic education, is compulsory. And that is why it is free. But at secondary level, the government have decided that you choose whether you want to go to secondary school, or you want to do commercial, or you want to learn a trade, or it depends, you want to do business. So that is it. But when you look at it, secondary education is the basic, it's very critical, because it's at that stage and at that age that children are getting more mature to begin to take decisions in life that will help them for their livelihood as time goes on.
You just mentioned something that caught my attention, the aspect of junior education being free. Does it mean that anybody who wants to attend any government school at junior level could walk in without the financial empowerment and is sure to be sponsored through it by the government?
Very well. That is what it is.
I want to believe a lot of people are not aware of this, so this is actually good news to those who didn't know about this. Now, moving on, you see, it is one thing to be educated, but it is another thing to be educated by the right person or persons. At some point last year, and even before last year, there had been issues of incompetence amongst teachers, poor training, unqualified teachers and all that. What exactly do you think is the cause of this?
I would want to say that, you see, teaching is a profession, and there are professionals that are taught to be teachers. So when you get it right, you get the right things that should be impacted in the life of the students. The reason is because in secondary education board, for instance, we ensure that we employ graduates. And once you are a graduate teachers, those that are trained to be teachers, those are the ones that are supposed to be teachers. But I tell you the truth, you see, with so much unemployment in the country, you find out that there are some people that don't mind going into the teaching profession even though they were not trained teachers in the university. And if there is opportunity for them to be employed, they come in there and they want to now take a training in teaching, even though they were not trained as teachers from the onset. So I want to think that these are some of the reasons, that gave room for such things. When some people come in, not being trained teachers, and then later on they want to take a profession in teaching because there was no employment from the onset. But for us in secondary education board, what we do is that even if you are not a trained teacher and you have to be employed, you would promise us that within the first year of employment, you must go and then attain a postgraduate diploma in education. So that's what we do in Secondary Education Board. You must go for a postgraduate diploma in education. Once that promise is on ground, you make a commitment. Then
written?
Yes. We have a form that we fill, and then we give you fill the form, say that within 1 year you go for your PGD, postgraduate diploma in education. So that helps you to bridge the gap in education. So as you bridge the gap in education, then you find out that you flow along.
Okay, does it mean to a large extent that there's a likelihood that majority of teachers in secondary school are probably graduates of College of Education or education graduates? Because what is really giving room for, at employment level, is there any law or any sanction or so to say that says when you are employing anybody, the person doesn't have traces of education or is not willing to do that, then don't employ the person? Maybe that will curb all of this to some extent. Is there any rule?
Yes, you see, that's why I said that, from the onset, because of lack of job in Nigeria, there are so many graduates that are hanging around, even though they are not teachers, they don't mind being employed as teachers to teach. And so when they come in, for us in Secondary Education Board, we make them to enter a commitment with us that within the first year, if they must remain in secondary school to teach, then they have to go for a postgraduate diploma. And this postgraduate diploma is being taught by, we have a lot of schools that teach and take this postgraduate diploma. The National Teachers Institute is one that is very, very effective in running the postgraduate diploma program, which helps in bridging the gap between those that are not trained teachers but are willing to teach. They are not trained teachers because they don't have education background. Trained teachers are those that in their university days they did education. They have maybe BSc Ed or B.Ed. These are trained teachers.
Or someone who attended a college of education.
Those that attended colleges of education are not employed by us. We only employ graduates to teach.
Really?
Yes.
Graduates of
They are not qualified to teach in our secondary schools. Only graduates teach in our secondary schools.
What about those who attend or who attended teachers training?
Yes, and colleges of education, they are only allowed to teach in junior secondary schools and primary schools.
Okay.
So that's the difference. For us in secondary schools, senior secondary schools, it is graduates that teach. Only graduates teach.
Okay, is there some sort of monitoring maybe board or so that sees to it that those people live up to their commitment?
Yes, they live up to their commitment because we have, immediately they are employed, they are supposed to submit their certificate within that 1 year. And if after 1 year you don't submit the certificate, of course you'll be called upon to ask why, and then whatever is the reason, then we'll now take it up from there.
Okay, now the issue of skill acquisition has been up for quite some time, the importance and all of that, because people sometimes have come to notice that majority of the youth in Nigeria, maybe I should just narrow it to Nigeria,
yes,
they have the mindset that you are going to school to graduate to be able to work. Not really most of them know that you could actually be in school and be doing something by the side, acquire skills if possible, and then empower yourself. So at secondary school level, is there any provision for skill acquisition for students so that when they leave secondary school, even before getting admission into the university, they are empowered skill-wise?
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting, and I think it may interest you to note that for us in Secondary Education Board, we are already on top of that situation concerning skills acquisition. And in 2012, the NERDC came up with a new curriculum on trade subjects that every school, secondary school, senior secondary school, must offer trade subjects. And what are these trade subjects? We have trade subjects like fisheries, poultry, garment making, tailoring, bricklaying. We have a retinue of about 35 subjects that make up the trade subject, 35 of them. And in FCT, we are offering 22 of these trade subjects. And so our students are doing fantastically well on this skills acquisition. So we teach them, and every child is expected to take at least one trade subject.
Okay, so they have the liberty to take more than
To
one.
take more, yes. At least one trade subject as part of what you do in your studies. And you write your national examinations, and that is WAEC and NECO. You write it. We have photography. We have a lot of them. And then we have teachers that teach this in the schools. We usually hold exhibitions, in the trade subject exhibitions, and then we exhibit and show what our students are doing in schools. So we have that already, and we also have this partnership we have with the Sage Nigeria, which is a kind of an outfit that help children in this an advancement of entrepreneurship. So this entrepreneurship thing, they go for competitions. Our students go outside the country for competitions on Sage entrepreneurship, and they have even won outside the country. They won the competition and they have come back. And most of the times you find out that they are into this. Right now, one of our schools, Government Girls Secondary School Abaji, are producing sandals that we have just approved that it will be used for the school. It is the sandals that we have approved to be used by everybody, and it is produced by the students in the school.
That's an interesting one, you must say.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to more of it. It's going to be a good thing to see our students be empowered skill-wise, and this is a welcome development, 100%. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the discussion will continue. Stay with us. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and I'm still speaking with Mrs. Namure Emeje, and we are talking about secondary education in Nigeria, everything you need to know about secondary education in Nigeria. She is an embodiment of all the information you need to find out. Just throw it at her and she gives it back to you. Still talking secondary school. One very, very pertinent issue that is eating deep into the system is cultism. But you find out that it is usually played down on at secondary level. They make it seem like it is only at university level that cultists exist. Now, what do you think what is the situation of things as far as cultism is concerned, secondary school wise?
Well, I will not totally say that maybe cultism is eradicated in the secondary schools, because I want to believe that that is the starting point, that they begin from that level and take it into, the tertiary institutions. But for us, we have put in a lot of measures to check these things in our schools. And one of it is that if we find out that there's any such vice in any child in the school, the child goes on expulsion immediately. Because we don't want to keep such children in the school, and then they become bad eggs that can corrupt the others. So they don't contaminate and then corrupt the others. So